Why would you do that? But look at this. She is going to muster up some words and try to explain why she changed the play to get Kelsey Mitchell the ball. Caitlin Clark.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So, as we all know, the Indiana Fever pulled out a huge overtime win, and what a performance it was. Caitlin Clark was absolutely phenomenal, finishing with 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists, while Aaliyah Boston dominated with 34 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Now, we all saw that heated exchange between Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark a few days ago. It went viral instantly. Both of them later brushed it off and said it was just competitive fire. And to be fair, that intensity was on full display against the Chicago Sky. But here's what has people talking. After the game, Stephanie White was discussing the team's performance, breaking down what happened and praising different aspects of the win. Yet many fans noticed something surprising. There wasn't much direct recognition of Caitlin Clark's incredible performance. A 32-point, 10-assist game in a huge overtime victory deserves attention. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe fans are reading too much into it. But when your superstar delivers at that level and doesn't seem to get much credit afterward, people are going to ask questions. Let's take a closer look at what was said.
I heard you more in huddles and in timeouts than I've heard you all year long. That matters. That matters, right? The collective positivity, the collective accountability, talking each other up, that is huge, y'all. Yes, we are closing that thing. We are closing that fist right here. But I'm so proud of the way that you came together, the way that you fought in that fourth quarter and those runs, the way that we came together going into overtime, coming together and finishing this game. Yes. All right, great job. That we grew today. Yep. We grew today. I'm proud of you guys. AB career high 34 points.
What she said. The collective positivity, the collective accountability, talking each other up. That is huge. We are closing that thing. We are closing that right here. But I'm so proud of the way that you came together, the way that you fought in that fourth quarter, and those rods, the way that we came together going into overtime. I am asking Stephanie White, where is the collective positivity, accountability? Did you see Kelsey Mitchell game? Why we going OT? When we had 19 points lead, why game gone overtime? Because of your stupid trash ideas. When Caitlin Clark exploded in the first quarter, because once Caitlin found a rhythm, once she started carving the defense apart, the offense gradually stopped looking for her. The screens disappeared, the easy actions disappeared, the ball stopped finding her in the same spots. And throughout the night, you could see the frustration building. Aaliyah Boston is hesitating, manufacturing her stats. Are you trying to take away her assists? Stephanie White says she's going away from the Aaliyah Boston-Caitlin pick and roll. You're going to hear the announcer basically in this game say 6 of Caitlin's 8 assists were to Aaliyah Boston. That's where Caitlin Clark feasts, is feeding Aaliyah Boston mainly. Stephanie White, I need somewhat of an explanation. How the hell do you blow a 19-point lead? That's bad in itself. But give up 25 points, give up 30 points to a bench, not just to any bench, to one bench player. You give up 30 points to one bench player that played 3 minutes in her last game. Sydney Taylor played 3 minutes in her last game. You give up 30 points off the bench to this player? I don't think Christy Sides ever did anything like that. And you cannot sit up here and tell me by any means that Stephanie White is a better coach than Christy Sides. I am sorry. I said this earlier and I will say this again. If Christy Sides was given that second season, like last year, she was given her second year, I don't believe Caitlin Clark gets hurt. And I believe the Fever win it all. And I'm stamping it. I believe if Christy Sides would have been given that second year to coach Caitlin, then Caitlin doesn't get hurt. They beat the Aces and they win a damn championship and we chillin'. We chillin'. That's what I cold-heartedly believe, bro. I ain't lying, bro. But we got Stephanie White at the podium all year. All year.
After this, it's so easy to see that Caitlin Clark has lost all faith in Stephanie White and her play calling. She lied to her. She checked in the game as the same play. Same play as last time. I'm going to come off this screen, get 2 free throws. We're going to walk out of this gym, right? Okay, call a timeout. We get the ball at half. They lied to Caitlin Clark. And then Stephanie White has to explain herself after she almost cost them the game. Watch this. Instead, trying to get cute and get Kelsey Mitchell some more points. Look at Caitlin Clark. Her hands up. What the heck happened? Kelsey Mitchell drops the pass. She knows they messed up. They try to get cute. Why would you do that? But look at this. She is going to muster up some words and try to explain why she changed the play to get Kelsey Mitchell the ball. Caitlin Clark, look at her face. She's lost all hope, all faith in Stephanie White. She said no. You know the play. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe this. And then it gets worse. Look at the play they drew up. Throw it off the backboard? Come on. Caitlin Clark has no idea what the heck just went on.
Steph, both Aaliyah and Caitlin, over 30 points in this game. They were playing off of each other for a lot of the fourth quarter overtime. What did you see them do, especially in their 2-man actions late to close this one out?
I mean, their synergy was just really good. I think that their timing, and we talked a lot about being on time in our reads and in our passes, and I felt like tonight in those situations, especially with those two, they were often on time and on target. I felt like their reads and where they went in the 2-man was really good too. They just played really confident and they moved the ball and it was exactly what we needed.
And you held on, but what do you guys need to do better to hold leads?
We need to not give up 39 points in a quarter. I mean, it's we are at our best when we play with pace. We can't play with pace if we're constantly taking the ball out of the net. I mean, and if we're fouling. Again, we gave them 38 free throw attempts, and especially, we can get it out quicker in flow if it's in the court, but especially at the free throw line, it makes it really tough. And we have moments where we're really good, and then we have moments where we're not, and we've got to find more consistency in the moments that we're really good. But I'm really proud of this group, the ability to stay together. Their communication in timeouts and in huddles was excellent. They were continuing to lift one another up and be confident and tell each other what they saw on the floor, and that matters. That matters. We took a step forward in terms of our connectedness tonight.
Steph, Aaliyah and Caitlin are first teammates in W history to have a 30-point double-double in the same game. Can you quantify what we're seeing and how special it is to have 2 players of that caliber in their primes playing for your team?
I mean, I don't know that I can really put it in perspective in terms of quantifying it, and especially because they're so young, right? They're so young, but they're elite, at what they do. And, the more experience that they get, at this level and the different ways that people play us, like they've already grown in their reads. I thought some of their reads tonight, some of their communication with one another tonight was really good. I think I said this when C was drafted here. It's like when you have the bookends, when you have a point guard, and you have a center that are special. You can build a team around that, and certainly then you add in Kelsey, who had already been here, and she had a quiet 19. right? It can make for some really special things, and we've got growth opportunities. There's no doubt about it. But I'm proud of this group, and those two certainly put us on their shoulders tonight. And I thought Maya was great. I thought Maya came in and was outstanding as well.
Yeah, I'll let you ask about her. What do you think of just the defensive effort she gave you, the energy plays?
I didn't know she could jump that high. No, I mean she was. I mean that block was incredible. But Mai is a great communicator on the defensive end of the floor. She's got a really good feel, and we needed that. And she finished plays with the boards. She's also a ball mover. So when you have her and AB on the floor. Together, you've got multiple bigs that can move the ball, and I thought she was really, really good for us, particularly in that fourth quarter and overtime.
I guess the first one. This is the third straight game you guys have had, a double-digit lead in the second or third, and then kind of lost it. Just what similarities do you see in these 3 games, both in how you lost the lead and then the last 2, how you came back from it?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's breakdowns, turnovers that lead to scores. Breakdowns in defensive coverage that lead to open threes, or that lead to early rotations and fouls. It's been the same thing. It's been a little bit of dip in intensity, a little bit of dip in execution. I don't want to say it's focus. It's not really focus. It's just urgency. Maintaining a sense of urgency in what we do, understanding that we have to value every possession all the time, offensively and defensively. We can't relax. Every team in this league is hungry, and we have to be the hungrier team. And I feel like there are times when we have a lead that we relax and we take possessions off, and you can't do that because runs happen quickly.
And then my other one was about the techs. Caitlin said she was glad to see you get a tech because teams like to go to war after that, but she also said you thought the refs were soft. Just what did you think of those moments? And
I thought the tech was soft. Yeah, I mean, look, it's an intense game, and I thought it was inconsistent. I thought that there were moments where it wasn't, as consistent as I wanted it to be. I didn't think I deserved the tech, but I got it anyway. So,
I mean, you mentioned the team taking a step forward. What's the balance like for you between having a game where you blow a double-digit lead, but then the response, both then, I guess, in the end of the fourth quarter, both times to rebound and kind of find your way and take a lead?
Yeah, I mean, it's some of it's a feel, some of it's the way that it happens, and tonight when I came into huddles and we were talking and we were problem solving, and we were strategizing, and we were encouraging, that's what you want to see. And so that's what you choose to focus on is the way that we were able to stay together in those moments, and the way that we were able to elevate one another in those moments, and not be silent or pull apart or try to do it on our own. I thought that we collectively took a big step forward in our connectedness, and so yes, we have a lot to work on. We've got to be able to find some consistency. But I thought that the positives in the fourth quarter and in the overtime, outweighed that.
Steph, we talked about Skylar Diggins before the game.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you had enough time there at the end to foul before she shot the 3, or what was the strategy there?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had time to take a foul. That's probably something we worked on a lot in training camp, and with game planning recently, we haven't worked on probably as much of that situation as we needed to. We talked about it as a staff, and then you got to trust that you can go out and execute it in those moments too. And we just decided to stay the match that time. We still talk about it after the game. I mean, that's an area where we have opportunity, and I know, as a coach and as a broadcaster, I hate the taking a foul thing. But we've got to have options both ways.
And then one more on Sydney Taylor, undrafted rookie. What did you think of what she did in that third quarter and how difficult she made it for you all?
Well, she can get on a heater quickly. I mean, we've seen it on film. You've seen it in her numbers. She can get hot and go to work. And she's a tough matchup. Her ability to shoot the 3, her quickness, off the bounce. She's a hell of a player, and she shot the shit out of it tonight.
Did y'all notice Caitlin Clark called out her team? In our previous video, Caitlin Clark says, whenever we got somebody put away, let's keep it that way. Look how Caitlin's talking. She's sick of it. She's sick of it. Caitlin said, when we got someone... Look at Aaliyah Boston looking at her. Look at Aaliyah Boston looking at her. Caitlin, oh my God, I can't believe you just threw the whole team under the bus. Oh, you damn Skippy, I'm throwing everybody under the bus. This was ridiculous. This was the Sky. There's no way you could convince me. Before this game, we would have thought the Fever would have gone to overtime with the Sky. I don't think one person in this chat would have believed before this game that we would have gone to overtime with the Sky. Damn right, Caitlin. Call out everybody. Call out the whole damn team. Look, I gotta be honest here. Caitlin Clark said a lot without actually saying a lot, and that's exactly why she's one of the smartest players in the game. When she made that comment about being happy to see Stephanie White get a technical foul, it felt like there was a deeper message behind it. Almost like she was saying, hey, maybe fight for me a little more. And shout out to Chloe Peterson for pointing that out, because a lot of people completely missed it. But here's what really has me fired up. Why is nobody asking the obvious question? How the hell do you blow a 19-point lead? Seriously, we're talking about a game that should have been over long before overtime. Before tip-off, nobody thought the Indiana Fever would need overtime to beat the Chicago Sky. Not one damn person. And yet, somehow, that's exactly what happened. The Fever let the Sky hang around, gain confidence, and force extra basketball. That's unacceptable for a team with championship expectations. At some point, somebody has to answer for that mess. Now, don't get it twisted. Caitlin Clark was absolutely incredible. She continues to rewrite the record books every single time she steps on the floor. Another 30-point, 10-assist performance. More history, more records, more proof that she's operating on a completely different level from everyone else. She's already setting standards that some legends spent entire careers trying to reach. Think about that for a second. She's only in her third season. Third season! Most players are still figuring things out at that stage. Caitlin Clark is out here breaking records and carrying the spotlight every single night. And when you compare her numbers to everyone else in the WNBA history, it's honestly insane. The pace she's on is ridiculous. The impact she's having is ridiculous. Everything about her career trajectory screams greatness. So yeah, I'm saying it. Caitlin Clark is building a legitimate case to be the greatest women's basketball player ever. If she keeps this up, the conversation won't even be close. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates.